For many years, I've been practicing to live my dream of being a professional javelin thrower. I know it sounds pretty obscure, but it's what I want to do. Well, my stepsister absolutely ruined that dream for me. You might be wondering, well, how can she come in the way of that? When I tell you what she did, you will not believe it. And then you'll understand exactly why what I did next makes sense. Hey, I'm 24, female. I'm a track and field athlete. Or I guess I used to be before any of this. I guess I need to start talking in the past tense about it. By the way, I used to throw javelins for anybody who's curious. I was very good at it. I was actually on track to greatness, or at least I hoped I'd become great, but all my hopes and dreams came crashing and burning 2 weeks ago. It was my stepsister, Jane, who probably did it out of pure jealousy, I'd say, because other than that, I've never done anything to her. Our parents got married when both of us were very young. Both of their parents had left them, so I guess they had a lot in common. But I can't complain because my stepmom, Lily, has never made me feel like I was not part of her family. You know, she would always give me the same, if not more, amount of love than my bio mom used to give me. This is also why I've never once thought of her as my stepmom, but rather see her as my own mother. She's never left me to feel like I was a stepdaughter either, and my father has also done the same to Jane. The only problem I have in my family is Jane. I knew she did not like me because of how she treated me right from the start. I mean, being the only child, I was not happy with sharing things when she first came along. But when my dad explained to me what having a sister meant, I was happy to have her. I believed that I was getting an older sister who was always going to be with me and look after me. But I was just living a fairy tale. See, she turned out to be a witch, as she regularly caused problems for me by blaming me for things that she did. I still understood that she might not be happy with us, but she got along fine with Dad. The only person she didn't like was me. She was always craving attention, so she always got mad when my parents were happy for me, and celebrated anything I did. Now that I think back, I realize how much of a jealous person she's always been, but I never once noticed because I wanted her as my sister. And it did slowly happen as she and I grew closer as more years would pass. Or at least that's what I was led to believe. It turns out all of it was just something she probably did because she didn't want family members to think she hated me or for some reason wanted to gain my trust. I don't know why she decided to get close, but it was not because she liked me. That much is clear. So I was always good at sports, because of which I brought a lot of trophies home. And of course Jane did not like that. I like sports, but I was not particularly interested in one until I got to experience the javelin throw. See, I was instantly hooked and it became my favorite thing to practice. I got into it in high school, but only started taking it serious during my college years. Luckily, I had a great coach who helped me get better. I started dreaming of one day doing this for my country. I know it's a very tough dream, but I still believed in myself. It makes me cry thinking about how much time and effort I put into my dream. Because I focused on sports, I racked up many more medals and competed in big college competitions. Jane did not take this very well, but she did not show any signs of it to me. My whole family, including my uncles, cousins, etc., were proud of me and used to always say that, well, put our family name in history. It's just not clear till now. My family, they're still supportive of me, and when I told them that I wanted to focus on my sport after college, they were more than happy to support me. Jane started working a 9-to-5 job after college and started building her own life, while I started training to become a professional athlete. A month ago, I'd spent almost a year training for an upcoming trial where, if it did better than a certain number of people, I would get a place in a great training camp. This was a big step towards my dream, and I've done everything to be prepared for it. I had a fixed regimen I followed: running, biking, swimming, and of course weightlifting and stuff to get stronger. In short, I just want you to know that I worked myself to the bone for this. A week before the trial, Jane asked me how nervous I was. Well, I bragged that I could do it easily and was going to make everyone proud. I told her this was a very important moment in my life. I was happy for her support, and after this, nobody would be able to stop me from being a pro athlete. She didn't say anything for a second and just wished me luck. On the day of the trial, I was up early in the morning and went for a run. When I came back, I found Jane jumping rope outside and I sat close to her. She then took out 2 small bottles of pineapple juice and offered me some. Well, she said Mom had prepared them for me and she was having one. Believe me, I regret so much not telling her no, but at that point I had no idea what was about to happen. Everyone wished me luck and I went to the trial with my dad there to support me. I was feeling very good and confident, and it showed in my performance. The trial, it went very well and my coach was so proud of me. I did better than a lot of people. I was confident that I was going to get selected. It was going to take over a week for the results, but my coach told me I made it. Even though this is what I had hoped for, my happiness knew no bounds. My father was in tears, and when we reached home, all of my family came there to celebrate. I wanted to wait for the results. But they just told me that there's no need to wait, as they knew for sure that I was going to get selected. Well, the most surprising thing was that my snake sister, oh, should I call her stepsister all right, was happy for me and joined in on the celebration. It was a great series of days that would have stayed as a core memory forever, had it not turned into a nightmare by the end of the week. So, the day of the results coming, and before I even got the results, I got a call from my coach. He asked me how I could do this and what was the reason. He was angry with me and told me that I ruined years of preparation and hard work just for this. Well, I cut the call to let him calm down, at which point I got the results, and what it said shocked me. The call from the coach made me feel like I failed, which made me sad but did not make me want to give up. I told him that, well, if I failed, I was going to try harder. I told him I was going to make it, buddy. He screamed over the phone that I was not going to make it and that I made a terrible decision. Well, right then and there, the results came and mine were very, very different. I almost dropped my phone because it said that I've been disqualified because I failed the drug test. I could not believe it, and I thought this was some sort of mistake. Well, then I read more and my soul left my body. It said that I've been found guilty of using performance-enhancing drugs, said I doped, and was going to receive a severe penalty for it. An hour later, I found out that I've been banned from competing in the javelin throw for 5 years, officially. I couldn't believe it. My body went numb and I almost fainted. My dad had to stop my body from hitting the ground, and when I regained a bit of composure, I called my coach once again and tried to explain to him that this is some sort of mistake. He said that he already thought that and used his connections to contact people in the testing crew and got me my results. He said that he's already made sure that I destroyed my own dreams and did not want to see my face again. I couldn't stop the tears from flowing. I could not even face my family members. Dad helped me and told me that it was okay and that things were going to be fine, but I wasn't listening at all. All I was thinking about was how could I have taken drugs? Then I remembered that damn juice from Jane. I immediately left Dad, jumped on her, and told her everything that was going to be doing to her. She said that she knew that she had not been the best sister, but I could not do this to her. This was my fault entirely, and I almost jumped and punched her, but Father held me back. On top of it, Jane had the audacity to tell everyone that I was a little emotional because of getting caught and wanted everyone to support me. Well, I told everybody about the juice, and my mom confirmed that she had made it for me. Jane then told everybody that this was their fault. They had put so much pressure on me to perform that I had to resort to cheating. I could not believe what this witch was saying, and I really just wanted to punch her. But everybody just ate her lies up and refused to believe me. My parents actually cried and apologized for putting pressure on me. I tried to blame her once more, but she flat out refused, saying that she had no reason to do so, and after that I had to give up. At least for now. It's been almost a week since then, and I'm severely depressed, not only because my dream has gone down to hell, but also because I simply can't prove that it was my sister. Now I'll never be able to remove my ban, and I'll come to accept it in time, but I can expose my sister all right. The only problem is that I don't know how. So I'm asking you guys if you can just maybe, please, give me some suggestions on what you would do. Anything will be helpful, I promise. Update number 1. Hey guys, it's been a few weeks and the situations continue to get worse for me. First, I want to thank you guys for leaving me so many supportive comments and giving me great life advice. Honestly, it helps a lot to know that people who have gone through things much worse than my condition are now living happily. For anyone who's concerned, I'm doing okay. Well, as okay as a person in my position can be. I'm very sad, but I don't think anyone believes that I'm going to celebrate my dreams of becoming a pro athlete going down the drain, right? Lastly, I got a few comments asking me to double-check the drug test result and telling me that I was blaming my sister based on nothing. Well, you guys must have missed a few parts of my last post because I believed it was pretty clear that my sister did it. Also, I can't believe that some of you guys think that I did not check and just blamed it on my stepmother. Of course, I checked and only blamed Jane when there was nothing else. Also, I saw somebody asking, if I somehow found proof of Jane drugging me, why wouldn't I be able to clear my name in the trial? Well, because it doesn't work that way. No matter how our relationship is, even if she accepts the blame for drugging me, she's still a family member who could have just decided to take the blame to save my career. I still competed with drugs in my system, so my career is pretty much toast. So after about 2 weeks of coming to terms with what happened, I was still in disbelief and waited for everyone just to be fine and everything to be over. It's because I had never imagined and still have not done anything else in my life. While I was going through all this, Jane was very happy. It was our parents' anniversary that day, and even though I was feeling down, I decided to let all of that go for a few hours so that my parents could enjoy themselves. But at the party, I was causing area-type emotional damage, as wherever I went, I just made everybody sad. So I went into the kitchen and slowly sobbed until Mom came in and hugged me. She asked me if she should stop this party, and I told her that I was the problem. She tried her best to cheer me up, and, well, I ended up feeling worse than I was, making her do this instead of celebrating. I stopped crying so that she would go back. I went out one last time and was doing well until my sister told a bunch of my dad's friends about what happened and pointed at me. And seeing their faces, well, to be honest with you guys, it ruined my day. I went back to the kitchen, sat there, all sad and my lonesome. Ugh, man. My stepsister wasn't done with me yet. She came in and tried to talk to me, and I asked her how much she wanted to hurt me. And she said she didn't want anything like that. She said she cared for me, but the smile she said on her face had it all written different. I guess she was scared of being recorded, so I just asked her why. She didn't say anything, but kept smiling and said that she didn't understand what I meant by that. Then she smiled some more and said that I should not have cheated and that I would learn to live with it. She said if I wanted help getting a job, she could hire me as her assistant. I asked her to just leave, and she said that she wanted to actually call me outside for a surprise. So I went out hesitantly, and guess what happened? She announced to everybody that she and Jake, her longtime boyfriend, had recently gotten engaged. The whole crowd erupted, and she gave me a butterfly flying kiss. She then said that she wanted to announce it at a special time while looking at me. Can you believe it? She's literally dancing on my grave and celebrating my downfall. She was so happy with my failure that she decided to get married. I congratulated her and went to bed. I seriously don't know what to do, and it hurts to see her this happy. While I'm suffering, I'm honestly in a very bad place right now. Update number 2. Hey guys, I'm back, and I'm coming back better than ever. It's been close to, 2 months now? I don't know. And for the first time since all this started, I'm genuinely happy. I know what you guys are thinking. Did something good happen recently? Well, not really, but yes. My situation did improve in a way, and I'm still sad about everything that happened. But I've learned something that's made me a very happy woman. Anyone who guessed that it was about my sister, well, you guys made a correct assumption. I recently learned something about her that, if used correctly, can turn her life upside down. Well, it would be fair to say that I have acquired a nuclear bomb, and I'm not going to hold back. Let me explain. So, after I went ahead to announce everything in my last update, Jane has been busy planning her wedding, which is in a few weeks, and yes, she's been rubbing the fact that she's getting married to a guy who's pretty wealthy every time she sees me, which just reminds me that she destroyed my dreams. But since I could do nothing about her, I was just sitting in pain and waiting to find something. Well, 2 days ago, My wishes came true, and when I went drinking with my cousin Alice last week, as the wedding was getting closer and Jane was getting happier, I was feeling pretty down, and I felt it was a good time to have a stiff drink. The house was also empty because of all the family members going out to dinner. But when I was buying a few beers, I got a call from Alice saying that she was coming home to see the family. Well, I asked her if she wanted to drink, and she said yes, and we drank in my room. She was telling me everything that she was doing out of state, about her boyfriend whom she dumped, and many more interesting things. We were having fun, and so we drank way more than I intended, and then something wonderful happened. After Alice got drunk, she told me that she knew something about Jane that was crazy. Well, I told her, spill the beans, baby. But she started saying it was none of our business and she did not want to hurt Jane in any way. I had to really muster it out of her, get those information out of her. And if she were not drunk, I don't think she would have said it. Then she told me something that blew my mind. So on the day of the anniversary, when it was announced that Jane had gotten engaged, she overheard a conversation between her and Jake. She said that they were arguing, and Jake kept saying that he did not want to do it and asked her to give him some time. Then Jane threatened him to do it now, or she would tell everybody that she was pregnant with his kid. And then it was game over for him. Well, he tried to convince her, but in the end, he had to agree to everything. Based on that conversation, Alice believed that Jake did not want or was not planning to marry Jane, but was being forced. Can you believe it? Well, Alice has no idea what kind of thing she just handed me. I can't believe it myself. I have the power to destroy her marriage, and you can be sure as hell I'll do it. Update number 3. Hey guys, it's been almost 2 weeks and a lot has happened, so I'm just going to continue. So, after my last update, I should say, things changed. I thought that it would be a good idea to talk first to Jake and confirm that I was right, and thinking, what was happening? Well, due to the wedding, he was really busy, and obviously I could not let Jane know, so I waited for a good chance. I told him I was planning her bachelor party and needs to discuss some things with him. And when he became free, we met secretly. Now, I was not going to let this chance slip, so I put my phone in my shirt pocket and took a video of the entire conversation in case I needed proof. As soon as he sat down, I immediately told him that I knew that Jane was forcing him to because she was pregnant. He tried to fight it for a second, but he gave up very quickly and looked sad. He told me he didn't want to marry this young, and didn't even love her enough to marry her even. So I told him the pregnancy could not be the only factor because he was rich, and he could just vanish in thin air. Well, he told me the problem was his parents, who would cut him off from their fund if they ever found out he was having a child out of wedlock. It turns out Jane made him a miserable person and still wanted to make him her husband? So I asked, why did he not offer money? And he said he did, but she rejected it because she knew marrying him was a better financial decision. He even threatened her that, he would never be a good husband and she did not care. So I asked him to help me then. I told him if he helped me, I would make sure that his parents never found out. And in the rare case they did, our family members would back him up. Honestly, I have no clue how I would have done this because I was just throwing BS into the air, hoping something would stick. I desperately needed her to confess to her crimes, and Jake was the only option I had, the ace up my sleeve. But he rejected my offer and asked me not to cause problems in his life. Well, I respected his choice, although I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about exposing him just because Jane's problems, but I didn't have to do that. Because yesterday, I saw her downing drinks and smoking like it was going out of style and making the baby stronger. So to be clear, one of my friends saw her and asked her to send me a video. They were in some sort of pub, and it was probably her bachelor's, and they were heavily drinking. There's no doubt in my mind that she's not pregnant, because if she were using the baby to get married, she would not risk losing it after she got married, and yes, I did consider the possibility that my stepsister would drink while pregnant, because she is a monster. But come on, the wedding's in about a week, and I'm going to make her regret destroying my life. Final update. Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks, and I'm just gonna say it. I understand that many of you guys wanted me to tell Jake about faking the pregnancy immediately, but I did not. This is my revenge now, and he has no right to it. I'm just joking. I told him a few days later and begged him to help me. He was pretty mad and immediately agreed. Then I watched Jane happily prepare for her wedding, which was going to crash and burn in the hands of yours truly. I kid you not. The waiting was the worst part, but finally the day of the wedding came. I already made all of the preparations with the help of Jake, and as soon as all the guests arrived, I jumped on the stage where the band was and asked everyone to give me a second. I said that I had announced and I wanted my sister to hear it too. I spoke a few lines about how I was so happy for Jane, but since she had destroyed my dreams, I could not let this go. Everybody was so shocked except Jane, who was just waiting for me to do something. Before my parents pulled me down, I asked everyone to look at the projector that was supposed to show some beautiful moments, curated by the videographer. It showed Jane drinking nonstop, and everybody was confused. This took a little time, and I used it to tell them why this video was important. At this point, Jane was sweating and shaking her head at me in the form of, "Don't you do this." But I did not give a damn about what she wants, so I told everyone the truth behind the marriage. The expression on their faces changed drastically. People went crazy and started understanding what the video meant. Then I let Jake do the rest. He apologized to his parents and told everyone what happened, and that Jane had lied about everything, including the pregnancy. She tried to baby trap him, and Jane was in tears. Everybody was in disbelief, and then something happened that even surprised me. Jake said that there was one last thing, and this was from him to me as a thank you for helping him. He played something, and it was Jane's voice. "She immediately went ballistic and tried to stop it." A huge crowd was in front of her, and my father held her back, so he continued. In the recording, Jake asked if she actually drugged me, and she said yes. She told him in a monotone voice that she was tired of hearing my praise and wanted me to get a real life. She said that she actually helped me. And when Jake could not believe it and asked if she did not feel guilty, she said not 1%. By the end of it, I had tears in my eyes, and my parents rushed to hug me and apologize for not believing me. Then everyone started leaving, and my sister just stayed there frozen. Her marriage got broken, and all of my family members cut her off and asked her to never show her face again. In the end, she was left all alone. It's been a week, but I've not seen nor heard from Jane, not even once. And I hope that I'll never have to. Although I'm still deciding what I can do next, I'm happy that everybody saw Jane's really ugly face. I also have you guys to thank for it, so thanks for the help. I hope your dreams and ambitions do come true.